Chapter 191 Hee hee. I tore off the left arm of that madman, it's so damn scary. Fortunately, I didn't have time to go in, otherwise I would have been taken away by that terrible one-armed madman. Seeing the group of people taken away by the one-armed madman, Chu Hongshan and Begong's faces were full of fear. However, the rest of the people were like chicken blood at this time. The biggest difficulty in ascending to the upper realm is the 9 ordinary thunder tribulations from the 1st to the 9th level of the tribulation realm and the 9 heavenly thunder tribulations after the peak of the 9th level of the tribulation realm. Now that they have the golden hut, it can be said that they have already stepped into the upper realm. As long as their cultivation can be improved, ascending to the upper realm is a foregone conclusion. In this situation, if they still don't know how to practice hard, they will be sorry for this golden hut. In the sect hall. Yi Feng, is it really okay to let that one-armed madman guide them? Luo Qianxue looked at Yi Feng with some concern and asked. Master, how do you say this? I have already asked the one-armed madman. His guidance method may be a little too cruel, but it will definitely not affect their lives. Hearing Luo Qianxue's question, Yi Feng thought about it and said it truthfully. Too cruel? Hearing this, Luo Qianxue even trembled all over. Just like Yi Feng's previous thoughts, how cruel can it be to be called cruel by that terrible madman? Quick, let that one-armed madman. Just when Luo Qianxue was about to ask Yi Feng to stop the one-armed madman, Yi Feng suddenly interrupted. The one-armed madman said that if the time is short, they can be strong enough to fight 1 against 100, and if the time is sufficient, they can be strong enough to fight 1 against 10,000. I am talking about opponents of the same realm. Hearing this, Luo Qianxue was completely dumbfounded. Fight 1 against 10,000? One person alone fights 10,000 ascended masters and is undefeated? Then wouldn't he be invincible in Shantian continent? Although Yi Feng was a spendthrift, he never boasted, not to mention that Luo Qianxue had seen the horror of the one-armed madman. Yi Feng, if possible, let's make that one-armed madman more brutal. Also, can I receive his special training guidance? Luo Qianxue looked at Yi Feng seriously and asked. System, can you find another official prodigal guard to guide the master? After all, the master is my designated woman, and I don't want her to be guided by a one-armed madman. After hearing Luo Qianxue's words, Yi Feng also asked the system directly. Ding. Master Luo Qianxue has a special relationship with the host, so you can make an exception and let another official prodigal guard guide her alone. As the system's prompt sounded, a space crack appeared in the sight of the two. Soon, a little girl eating a lollipop walked out of the space crack. Little girl? Yi Feng, you don't want this little girl to guide me in cultivation, do you? Seeing this extremely cute little girl in front of her, Luo Qianxue looked at Yi Feng with a shocked face and asked. Who is stronger between you and that one-armed madman? Yi Feng did not answer Luo Qianxue's question, but looked at the little girl and asked, curiously. Hee hee. My lord, I tore off the left arm of that madman. The little girl looked at Yi Feng and smiled and answered with a cute and arrogant look. What? Hearing this, both Yi Feng and Luo Qianxue felt their hair stand on end, and their eyes were filled with endless horror. They simply couldn't believe that this harmless little girl in front of them was even more terrifying than that one-armed lunatic. Master, she should be qualified to guide you in your cultivation. If there is nothing else, I will leave first. After reacting, Yi Feng smiled and touched the little girl's head, and then left the sect hall directly. Can I know why you tore off the left arm of that one-armed madman? When Yi Feng left, Luo Qianxue also looked at the little girl with a hint of curiosity and asked aloud. At the same time, seeing the little girl's cute appearance, she couldn't help but reach out and want to touch the other's head, even though she knew that the other was an extremely terrifying existence. Because that madman touched my head. Click. Hearing this, Luo Qianxue's heart trembled, and the right hand that was about to touch the little girl's head also stopped instantly, and even because of fear, the right hand trembled uncontrollably. Hee hee. Big sister, you can touch it. As she said, the little girl grabbed Luo Qianshua's right hand with her hand and put it on her little head. This is the future mistress. I must take this opportunity to build a good relationship with the mistress. The little girl thought secretly in her heart. The back mountain of the sect, just as he was about to understand the situation of everyone, the one-armed madman suddenly trembled all over, and said to himself with a trace of fear in his eyes, "Why is that little witch here too? Damn it, that little witch actually followed the mistress, I dare not provoke her anymore. No, besides the mistress, my master cares most about this little yellow dog. If you attack the mistress, then I will attack the little yellow dog. Who doesn't have a backer?" Thinking of this, the one-armed madman looked at the little yellow dog with a fiery look in an instant. Fuck. Why did this madman suddenly look at me with a wrong look? The little yellow dog panicked instantly after noticing the strange look of the one-armed madman, and shouted in his heart, "Master, please step on the colorful cloud to save the dog, I'm so panicked now." Achoo. Yi Feng, who had just returned to his residence, suddenly sneezed and said to himself in confusion, "Who missed me? Young Master Yi, can I come in?" Just when Yi Feng was about to have some afternoon tea, Bai Lei's voice suddenly rang from outside the house. "Bai Lei, is there something wrong?" Seeing Bai Lei coming in, Yi Feng also asked in confusion. "Young Master Yi, can you save my master?" Hearing Bai Lei's words, Yi Feng's forehead was instantly full of question marks. Although Yi Feng didn't know how strong Bai Lei's master was, he was definitely stronger than the blood-sucking mantis that had only survived 2 heavenly thunder tribulations at that time. What could happen to such a strong man? What happened to your master? Yi Feng continued to ask, looking at Bai Lei with a worried face. My master was captured by a female demon in the Ascension realm when he was having fun in a certain brothel. That female demon is a demon cultivator. My master didn't expect that there would be such a powerful demon cultivator in the brothel. As a result, after having fun, the other party directly captured my master and even prepared to use my master as a furnace to continue to enhance his own cultivation. Young Master Yi, please save my master, otherwise my master will be sucked dry by the other party. Bai Lei looked at Yi Feng and begged anxiously. Chapter 192. You came too fast, I can still hold on. Fuck. This works. Hearing Bai Lei's words, Yi Feng was stunned. Is this what the saying means, that if you often play in brothels, you will be captured sooner or later? Without further delay, let's set off. But we have to bring handsome blood, after all, the other party is also a female demon in the Ascension realm. With that, Yi Feng took Bai Lei to the back mountain of the sect. After a moment. The master is here. The master is really here. Can the master really hear the call in my heart? Can the master and I really think alike? Seeing Yi Feng rushing over, the little yellow dog was so moved that he almost cried. Madman, I'll borrow a demon to do something. Handsome blood, follow me. After greeting the one-armed madman, Yi Feng looked directly at the blood-sucking mantis and shouted. Master, are you just taking me with you? Hearing what the blood-sucking mantis said, Yi Feng was puzzled and said, What else? Master, then I can't go with you. My dog brother is still in dire straits, how can I leave alone? Hearing Yi Feng's words, the blood-sucking mantis disobeyed Yi Feng's order for the first time, and his eyes were full of determination. Brother Mantis, you have this heart, I am satisfied. Go, help the master, we can go one by one, don't worry about me, I can handle it. Hearing the words of the blood-sucking mantis, the little yellow dog also said with great emotion. Damn. When did you two big monsters get so close? Are you playing the Brotherhood of the Other World here, parting forever? Drop blood to activate the space portal. Yi Feng, Bai Lei, and the blood-sucking mantis also came to the town where they met Bai Lei and his master at the first time. System, use the function of peeping into the sky once to find Luo Qing's current location. After leaving the town, Yi Feng also directly issued a command to the system. Soon, the navigation map that only Yi Feng could see appeared in front of him. Handsome blood, you continue to control the 9th grade flying spirit tool, I will show the way. After the 2 people and 1 monster sat on the 9th grade gourd flying spirit tool, they directly activated the flying spirit tool with all their strength and rushed to Luo Qing's location at the fastest speed. A certain mountain range. You dared to use the sound transmission stone while I was practicing? Do you really think I dare not kill you? A beautiful woman wearing a black tight Taoist robe and a charming figure stared at the pale Luo Qing and said coldly, "Kill if you want to, don't you all die sooner or later? Have you killed enough people?" Luo Qing pointed at the countless bones around him and said fearlessly, "Ha ha ha." The black-robed woman couldn't help laughing and said, "It's your honor to die in my hands. After all, a happy death is always better than a miserable death, isn't it? Although I will die in your hands, I can't refute this." Hearing the black-robed woman's words, Luo Qing, who was extremely greedy for women, followed his heart and agreed with this sentence. You. However, Luo Qing's agreement directly made the black-robed woman unable to do anything. She killed tens of thousands of furnace tripods, but she had never met such an extreme romantic wanderer like Luo Qing. She even had an illusion now that if she really killed Luo Qing, she would be the one who suffered. "You bastard. You actually want to ruin my Tao heart." The black-robed woman, who suddenly woke up, cursed at Luo Qing. If she hadn't woken up in time, Luo Qing would have almost become her inner demon. "What the hell did I do? Who the hell ruined your Tao heart? You were going to kill me, and I agreed with your point of view in this situation, but you still scolded me?" Luo Qing was directly stunned by the scolding of the black-robed woman. "Hurry up, are you coming?" Luo Qing, who had reacted, also got angry and shouted at the black-robed woman. "Are you still excited? Are you still excited, Furnace Cauldron?" Seeing the extremely arrogant Luo Qing at this time, the black-robed woman was really about to be mad. She had killed tens of thousands of people, and she had never met such a shameless person as Luo Qing. "I almost fell into your trap again. Just because you still want to ruin my Tao heart, it's really ridiculous." As she said, the black-robed woman took off her socks and stuffed them into Luo Qing's mouth. If Luo Qing continued to talk, she really felt that she was the one who suffered a loss, which would affect her Tao heart. But she couldn't bear to give up the cultivation brought by a cultivator who had withstood 8 heavenly thunder tribulations. "Demon, let my master go quickly." At this moment, Bai Lei's voice suddenly came from outside the cave, which made Luo Qing's eyes light up. A great demon in the realm of ascension? With a trace of solemnity, the black-robed woman also walked directly out of the cave. Luo Qing was stunned when he heard the black-robed woman's words. He really didn't expect that his prodigal disciple could find a great demon helper in the ascension realm. The bet was right. I felt that Master Yi was not an ordinary person. Letting Bai Lei go with him was the wisest decision I made in my life. Luo Qing thought proudly at this time. "Who are you?" After the black-robed woman walked out of the cave, she saw the 2 people and 1 demon standing outside, and asked with a serious look. "Eye of Destruction." As soon as the black-robed woman spoke, Yi Feng directly used the Eye of Destruction. The blood-sucking mantis holding the 2 tripods and preparing to rush over to fight saw the black-robed woman disappear directly, and the whole demon was dumbfounded. With a puzzled look, he looked at Yi Feng and asked, "Master, since you are ready to take action, why do you still let me come? If you don't come, do you want me to control the flying spiritual weapon myself?" Looking at the doubtful blood-sucking mantis, Yifeng secretly said, "Should I tell you that I forgot that the Eye of Destruction has been refreshed today?" Soon, the 2 people and 1 demon walked into the cave, walked to the deepest part, and saw tens of thousands of white bones piled up here. The 2 people and 1 demon couldn't help but take a breath. This female devil is really capable. Yifeng thought in great surprise. Don't throw it away. When Bai Lei took the socks out of Luo Cheng's mouth and was about to throw them away, Luo Cheng stopped him. Tear off the confinement talisman on me first, I'm going to keep this sock as a souvenir. Bai Lei was really going crazy after hearing Luo Cheng's words. He felt that his master was completely hopeless. Luo Cheng deserved to be arrested. Yifeng, who was standing behind, was also shocked by Luo Cheng's actions. Where's the female devil? As the confinement talisman was torn off, Luo Cheng also looked at Bai Lei and asked. Dead. No trace of the body remains. Hearing Luo Cheng's question, Bai Lei also said truthfully. What a pity. I didn't expect you to come so quickly. In fact, I could still hold on. Hearing that the black-robed woman had been killed, Luo Cheng actually showed a hint of disappointment. Chapter 193 Master and disciple pit each other. Yifeng was really shocked. Bai Lei, you have been in Yishao sect for a while, how do you feel? Pulling Bai Lei aside, Luo Cheng also asked with a serious face. How is it? Master, have you ever seen a sword dog that has comprehended the realm of sword heart? Master, have you ever heard of the enlightenment pill that can immediately enter the realm of enlightenment after taking one? Master, have you ever drunk tea boiled with soul-purifying water? Master, have you ever eaten the 3-leaf fig, one of the top 10 spiritual fruits in the Tiandao battlefield? Master, have you? When Bai Lei was about to continue speaking, Luo Cheng quickly covered his mouth and said in a collapsed expression, Evil disciple, shut up. After letting out a long breath, Luo Cheng tried to calm down his mentality, then looked at Bai Lei and said seriously, Young Master Yi is definitely not an ordinary person, you should stay by his side. Master, are you ready to withstand the 9th heavenly thunder tribulation? Bai Lei suddenly asked. Yes. I have settled you down, and I have nothing to worry about. And I have already prepared the elixir, spiritual tools, formations, and other things to withstand the 9th heavenly thunder tribulation. Although the chance of success is less than 20%, I can still fight. As long as I can survive the 9th heavenly thunder tribulation, I will directly ascend to the upper realm. At the end, Luo Cheng's eyes even had a hint of urgency. Master, are you so anxious? Seeing Luo Cheng so eager to ascend to the upper realm, Bai Lei also smiled bitterly. Why not? Thousands of women in the upper realm are still waiting for me to favor them, I can't let them wait any longer. Luo Cheng looked at Bai Lei and preached with a serious face. In that case, Master, you don't need to prepare. Young Master Ye's sect has a golden hut built with 100,000 pieces of golden silkworm star stones. You can hide inside and successfully survive the 9th heavenly thunder tribulation. I'll go and tell young Master Yi now. After saying that, Bai Lei turned around and walked toward Yifeng, who was not far away. What? Hearing Bai Lei's words, Luo Cheng was also shocked. He knew that Yifeng was a spendthrift, but he really didn't expect that he could be so spendthrift. At the critical moment, my precious disciple is still powerful. After the shock, Luo Cheng looked at Bai Lei walking towards Yifeng with a look of relief in his eyes. He did not raise this disciple in vain. Young Master Yi. My master wants to face the 9th heavenly thunder tribulation. I wonder if he can borrow the golden hut. Don't worry, young Master Yi, I will definitely work hard for this sect in the future. Bai Lei came to Yifeng and directly stated his request. Yes. Hearing Bai Lei's request, Yifeng also smiled and agreed. Anyway, the golden hut, a wasteful artwork, had been destroyed by them. He didn't want to care about it anymore. He could destroy it as he wanted. Young Master Yi. That, when my master successfully reaches the realm of ascension, can I ask the one-armed master to stop my master from ascending to the upper realm? After getting Yi Feng's permission, Bai Lei also asked again with embarrassment on his face. Hearing this, Yi Feng became interested and looked at Bai Lei and asked, if your master wants to ascend to the upper realm, just let him ascend. Why don't you want him to ascend? Young Master Yi, actually my master just had enough fun and disliked the spring house in Shantian continent, so he wanted to hurry to the upper realm to try something new. What? Hearing Bai Lei's words, Yi Feng couldn't believe his ears. It was the first time he heard that someone wanted to ascend because they had had enough of the spring house in the lower realm. Bai Lei, your master is simply a god. Looking at Luoqing not far away, Yi Feng couldn't help but exclaimed. However, no matter what the reason is, if he wants to ascend, let him ascend. Why do you have to stop him? Wait, is it because he forced you to learn the art of painting that you don't like since you were a child, so you want to take revenge on him? Suddenly thinking of something, Yi Feng also hurriedly looked at Bai Lei and continued to ask. It has nothing to do with the art of painting. It's because he doesn't let me drink. If he doesn't let me drink, I won't let him pick up girls. Hearing Bai Lei's words, Yi Feng was really shocked. The reason for the master to ascend to the upper realm is weird. The reason for the apprentice to pit the master is even more weird. By activating the space portal, Yi Feng, the blood-sucking mantis, Bai Lei, and Luoqing also came directly to the Xinghuan sect. Young Master Yi, come here. Arriving in front of the golden hut, Luoqing was amazed for a moment, but suddenly called Yi Feng to a corner. What's the matter? After walking to the corner, Yi Feng looked at Luoqing and asked with confusion. Young Master Yi, I will ascend to the upper realm directly after I survive the 9th heavenly thunder tribulation. I'll trouble you to take care of me as your disciple in the future. However, my disciple has a problem. He likes to drink too much. If possible, I hope young Master Yi can quit drinking. Luoqing looked at Yi Feng very seriously and asked, quit drinking. Hearing Luoqing's words, Yi Feng couldn't help but smile bitterly. He had never seen such a master and apprentice who pitted each other. Let's talk about this later. You should go in and bear the 9th heavenly thunder tribulation first. Seeing Luoqing walk into the golden hut, Yi Feng walked towards Bai Lei, who was not far away. Young Master Yi, if nothing unexpected happens, did my master ask you to help me quit drinking? Seeing Yi Feng walking back, Bai Lei seemed to have guessed everything and asked directly. Yes, I have never seen a master and apprentice like you who pitted each other. It really broadened my horizons. Hearing Bai Lei's words, Yi Feng also smiled and admitted it. Okay, the heavenly tribulation cloud in the sky has appeared. You should leave first, otherwise I'm afraid he will beat you to death in a while. Seeing the heavenly tribulation cloud gradually condensing in the sky, Yi Feng also asked Bai Lei to leave first. After a while. Ha ha ha. I finally survived the 9th heavenly thunder tribulation. Master Yi, I am grateful for your kindness. I have some very important things waiting for me to do in the upper realm. I will ascend to the upper realm first. I will leave the brat in your care. When Luoqing walked out of the golden hut, he laughed and led out the colorful ladder to heaven. With the appearance of the colorful ladder, everyone in the sect also looked at the ladder that connected the sky and the earth, wondering who in this sect was actually preparing to ascend to the upper world. At the entrance of the sect hall. Ladder. I don't know when I can lead the ladder to ascend to the upper world. But who is actually preparing to ascend to? Before Luo Qianxue finished speaking, when she saw that the ladder in the distance was directly cut off by a blood-colored sword, she was stunned on the spot. Chapter 194 Big Sister, this is not his true strength. Are you crazy? It's okay to cut off the heavenly tribulation cloud, and now even the ladder is cut off. When everyone in the sect saw the one-armed madman holding a blood-colored rapier appear at the position of the broken ladder, their eyes were full of disbelief. Too strong. I didn't expect that. I still underestimated his strength. Outside the sect hall, Luo Qianxue, who had recovered, also said with a trembling voice. Big sister, this is not his true strength. When he recovers his left arm, that's when he will release all his strength. After hearing what Luo Qianxue said, the little girl who was eating a lollipop beside her said something that shocked Luo Qianxue even more. Then why didn't he recover his left arm? After being shocked, Luo Qianxue looked at the little girl and asked in confusion. Hee. Because he recovered once, I broke it once. Who told him to touch my head with his left hand? Gulp. Hearing the little girl's extremely bland answer, Luo Qianxue also swallowed her saliva with horror. She had a new understanding of the harmless little girl in front of her. Although I don't know who you are. But you should be the strongest one. Hearing Luo Qianxue's words, the little girl suddenly shook her head, a trace of fear flashed in her eyes, and looked at Luo Qianxue with an unprecedented serious look and said, There are 10 of us in total, that lunatic is ranked 6th, and I am only ranked 4th. Hiss. Luo Qianxue took a breath of cold air when she heard this. She never thought that there were 10 such terrifying strong men like them. And the harmless, but extremely terrifying little girl in front of her was only ranked 4th. Big sister, please stop asking. Even if you keep asking, I won't answer. Looking at the frightened Luo Qianxue, the little girl once again showed a sweet and lovely smile and said to Luo Qianxue. In front of the golden hut. Because the ladder to heaven was cut off, Luo Qing, who slowly fell from mid-air, was completely dumbfounded. He had never thought that the ladder to heaven could be cut off by a sword, which was beyond his cognition. Young Master Yi, who is he, and why did he cut off my ladder to heaven? Looking at the one-armed madman holding a blood-red rapier in the air, Luo Qing, who had recovered from his shock, looked at Yi Feng beside him with fear and asked. He is my man. As for why I cut off your ladder to heaven, I was also entrusted by someone. Hearing Yi Feng's words, Luo Qing hurriedly asked, Who entrusted you? Your beloved disciple. He said that if you don't let him drink, he won't let you pick up girls. Stupid. After Luo Qing learned about this situation, he was completely stupid. It was ridiculous that he was still thinking about pitting his disciple before ascending, but who would have thought that he would be directly pitted by his disciple? Although your ladder to heaven was cut, when Bai Lei ascends, you can use his ladder to ascend to the upper realm together, so don't worry about not being able to ascend to the upper realm in the future. If you don't have anywhere to go, you can also stay in the sect. Yi Feng looked at the distracted Luo Qing and continued. Forget it. Although I can drink tea made from soul-purifying water, eat top-quality 3-leaf figs, and have the enlightenment pill that can lead me directly to the state of enlightenment, for me, if there is no woman in my life, I would rather die. Hearing Luo Qing's words, Yi Feng silently gave Luo Qing a thumbs up. He was willing to call Luo Qing the strongest LSP. Young Master Yi, before I leave, can I know who that terrifying one-armed warrior is? Before leaving, Luo Qing looked at Yi Feng and asked his doubts. Strong men from the upper realm. As for the one-armed madman and the little girl, Yi Feng had already thought of their identities to the public. Sure enough. It seems that there are many special treasures in the battlefield of the heavenly Tao in the upper realm. After saying that, Luo Qing soared into the sky and quickly left the Xinghuan sect. Disciple, being able to follow a young master from the upper realm is also a good opportunity for you. Do a good job for young Master Yi. Luo Qing was even more grateful that he let Bai Lei follow Yi Feng at that time. Ding. Task released, please take by layout to paint. The target of painting is the sword, archery, and stick. For each painting, you will be rewarded with 10 million points and 100 God-level pills to increase your cultivation. You will also have a chance to get special rewards. There is no time limit and you can refuse. Just after Luo Qing left, the system's prompt sound suddenly rang in Yifeng's mind. The system really doesn't let me idle. Hearing the task released by the system, Yifeng would guess the purpose of the system. The reward is indeed very good, but the real purpose is to let him go out and spend money quickly. Why does the other party let you paint for free? You must give benefits. How to give? Naturally, give it hard. A strong swordsman, isn't the sword god of Qiyang Kingdom a suitable candidate? A strong arrowsman, isn't the arrow god of Qiyang Kingdom a suitable candidate? As for a strong stickman, Yifeng feels that Qiyang Kingdom should have one too. Bai Lei's courtyard residence. Young Master Yi. My master. Seeing Yifeng coming, Bai Lei was anxious and wanted to say something, but was interrupted by Yifeng. I know what you want to say. Although your master's ladder was cut off, he can use your ladder to go to the upper realm, so you don't have to worry. Huh. Hearing Yifeng's words, Bai Lei finally breathed a sigh of relief. He was really scared just now. He wanted to let the one-armed madman stop his master before he ascended, but he was surprised. Who would have thought that the other party would actually cut off his master's ladder? He knew that the one-armed madman was very strong, but he didn't expect that the other party would be so strong. Young Master Yi, where is my master now? I don't know if he can stay in the sect, but don't worry, we can definitely take on the chores of the sect. Just leave the laundry, cooking, and fetching water to us. Thinking that his master must be extremely disappointed at this moment, Bai Lei also wanted to try to get a quota for chores in the sect for his master. You two are really interesting, master and disciple. When they were playing tricks on each other, they were more ruthless than each other, but they still cared about each other afterwards. I was going to let your master stay in the sect, but he said that if he lost a woman in his life, he might as well die directly, so he has left the sect. Hearing Bai Lei's words, Yifeng also smiled and explained the situation. I am also convinced by this LSP. He almost died on a woman just now, and now he ran away to be cool. Next time he encounters danger, I will not save him. Hearing Yifeng's words, Bai Lei also complained with a black face. Chapter 195. He is not practicing. Why are you pulling my arm? What do you painters need when you paint? I didn't care about Bai Lei's complaints about Luo Qing, and Yifeng also asked directly. Special drawing paper, special brushes, special painting pigments, and special frames to protect paintings. Although he didn't know why Yifeng asked this question, Bai Lei still answered seriously. Do you have these things? Yifeng looked at Bai Lei and continued to ask. Yes. Where are they? Take them out for me to see. I haven't seen these things before. Sold. Seeing Bai Lei say the word sold with confidence, Yifeng felt that it was time to teach Bai Lei a lesson. Otherwise, with his mentality, how could he paint well when he went out? You have been a chores in the sect for a while. What do you think of painting now? Yifeng looked at Bai Lei and continued to ask. Chanceling is good. I feel that being a chores is much more interesting than practicing painting. Although master didn't come, even if I'm alone, I can still take up the banner of the sect's menial work. Let you experience the life of menial work for a few days, and you're addicted to it? You took up the banner of the sect's menial work. Are you going to make Emperor Jinluan unemployed? From today on, you are no longer a menial work of the sect, but a formal disciple of the sect. From today on, you must concentrate on practicing the art of painting. Yifeng looked at Bai Lei, who was looking forward to a beautiful menial life, and said directly. Young Master Yi, are you kidding me? When you brought me back, I asked you if you could stop me from studying the art of painting, and you said yes. Why did you change your mind? Bai Lei looked at Yifeng with an unbelievable look and asked. Did I say that? Hearing Yifeng's words, Bai Lei became anxious and said quickly, Young Master Yi, you really said that at that time. Forget it, since I said it, then you can do whatever you want. After all, I am a man of my word. Just then, a little girl eating a lollipop suddenly came over from a distance. My lord, are you looking for me? After arriving at the courtyard, the little girl also looked at Yifeng respectfully and asked. He is left to you. Find a way to make him voluntarily practice painting. After saying that, Yifeng looked at Bai Lei, who was stunned and smiled. Don't underestimate her. The left arm of the one-armed madman was torn off by her. Young Master Yi, don't leave. Young Master Yi, you don't have martial ethics. Young Master Yi, why don't you take her with you? Looking at Yifeng, who was leaving, and then looking at the harmless little girl staring at him, Bai Lei panicked. He really didn't expect Yifeng to do such a trick. What should I do to make him voluntarily practice painting? No one in this sect is an enemy. If the means are too cruel, even if the goal is achieved, I am afraid that my master will not be satisfied. The little girl held her chin and showed an extremely cute look and pondered. I got it. Let him be the bad guy. After a moment, the little girl suddenly thought of something, and a cute smile appeared on her face, which made Bai Lei, who had been staring at the little girl, more uneasy. Little witch, what do you want to talk to me about? Soon, the one-armed madman holding a blood-red rapier also came to Bai Lei's courtyard, looking at the little girl with some fear and asking. I am working for my master, you'd better cooperate. Before the one-armed madman understood what this sentence meant, the figure of the little girl suddenly appeared in front of him. On the right arm covered by the red sleeve, strange blood-colored runes instantly appeared, and then she directly grabbed the one-armed madman's only remaining right arm. Tear. Blood splattered, and the one-armed madman's right arm was torn off by the little girl. Do you want to practice? Holding the bloody right arm, the little girl showed an innocent smile and asked the frightened Bai Lei. Damn. What does it have to do with me whether he practices or not? You just tore my arm off like this? Hearing the little girl's question, the one-armed madman exploded directly. I don't like the way of painting. Although Bai Lei, who reacted, was frightened by the little girl's brutal means, he still said his true thoughts. Regenerate both arms. Hearing Bai Lei's answer, the little girl didn't say any more nonsense, but her face changed, and she looked at the one-armed madman with a cold look and said. This. When Bai Lei saw that the one-armed madman had grown 2 bloody arms again, his eyes almost popped out of his head in shock. Tear. The little girl suddenly exerted force with both hands, directly tore off the 2 arms that the one-armed madman had grown again and threw them in front of Bai Lei, and asked with a smile again, Do you want to practice? Looking at the 3 bloody arms in front of him, although Bai Lei was almost scared to death at this time, he still shook his head with a firm look. At this time, the one-armed madman had understood everything. This time, he just regenerated his right arm, then looked at the little girl and grinned. Little witch, I did this bad guy, but remember, you owe me a favor this time. After that, the one-armed madman picked up the bloody rapier on the ground and walked directly towards Bai Lei, saying at the same time, since you don't want to practice painting, there is no use keeping these hands. I will cut off the flesh on your hands piece by piece. Owe you a favor? Don't even think about it. Then I might as well do it myself and tear off his 10 fingers one by one. Seeing the one-armed madman and the little girl walking towards him together, Bai Lei's psychological defense line collapsed instantly. Practice, isn't it okay for me to practice? Don't scare me like this. Bai Lei collapsed and shouted at the one-armed madman and the little girl. Scare you? Do you think we are scaring you? Hearing Bai Lei's words, the one-armed madman and the little girl couldn't help laughing. At this moment, the one-armed madman sensed Ji Feng's breath, rolled up the 3 bloody arms on the ground, and turned into a streak of blood light and left the courtyard. You leave first, you don't have to do anything. I suddenly thought of a way to make him practice painting voluntarily. When Yifeng returned to the courtyard, he spoke directly to the little girl. Hearing Yifeng's words, the little girl and Bai Lei both showed a confused look. They are all done, you think you have a way? My lord, it just so happens that I haven't figured out how to make him practice voluntarily, so I'll take my leave first. Before leaving, the little girl also blinked at Bai Lei, and then left the courtyard. Bai Lei, don't you like wine? Come, try this wanchao qiongjiang. As he said, Yifeng handed a pot of wanchao qiongjiang in his hand to Bai Lei. Gulp. After taking a sip, Bai Lei's mentality completely collapsed. With such a good wine, you should have taken it out earlier. Let alone practicing painting, he would do it without using his hands. Recalling the fragrance of the wine and the shock he had just encountered, Bai Lei was really going crazy. He was so cruel. Chapter 196, Bai Lei. Is this the weakling you mentioned? Young Master Yi, can I know why you insist on letting me practice painting? After drinking half a pot of wanchao jingjiang, Bai Lei also looked at Yifeng with a puzzled look and asked. Then why don't you like to study painting? Yifeng did not answer, but looked at the other party and asked back. Because painting has no future. Just like my master, if he wants to paint a sword painting with the realm of sword heart, he needs to spend a huge price to get a sword cultivator to agree to be the target of the painting. The result is that even if the painting is completed, it can only allow others to observe the sword intent in the painting. If it is a battle, the painter is definitely the weakest among many cultivators, and can be called the weakest among the weak. I want to have a strong power to control my own destiny, instead of becoming a waste who only knows how to paint. Hearing Yifeng's question, Bai Lei also directly said what he thought in his heart. Walking camera, artistic conception, porter? Yifeng was also slightly surprised to hear Bai Lei's words. He really didn't know that the painter was so weak. System, is the way of painting really so weak? After being surprised, Yifeng also asked the system directly. If it was really so weak, he would rather give up the welfare task just released by the system than force Bai Lei to continue practicing the way of painting. After all, the people he forced in the past in a prodigal way can definitely become top masters in the future. Ding. Please host and Bai Lei experience the ultimate of painting in person. Boom. As the system's voice sounded, before Yifeng could react, a strange force instantly enveloped the entire courtyard. Mysterious space. On a wasteland, a middle-aged man in a gray robe looked at the hundreds of thousands of troops opposite, his eyes full of calmness. At this time, Yifeng and Bai Lei were like having a god's perspective, looking at everything in front of them. Use your body as a pen and the world as a painting. As the gray-robed man's voice sounded, an invisible force burst out from his body, shaking the whole world. This is impossible. However, Bai Lei, who was in the god's perspective, saw countless strange black lines released from the gray-robed man's body. These black lines were like pens, quickly outlining everything about the hundreds of thousands of troops on the opposite side. Soon, a painting drawn by countless black lines appeared in front of the gray-robed man. The painting will perish and all living beings will perish. As the gray-robed man finished speaking, a white flame suddenly burned on the painting. At the same time, the hundreds of thousands of troops on the opposite side also strangely burned with white flames. Whenever a person was burned in the painting, one person would disappear from the hundreds of thousands of troops on the opposite side. When the painting was completely burned, where could the hundreds of thousands of troops on the opposite side be seen? It was as if the hundreds of thousands of troops had never appeared. Yi Feng and Bai Lei, who had seen all this from the god's perspective, were completely stunned. After a trance, Yi Feng and Bai Lei opened their eyes together, and then they found that they had reappeared in the courtyard of Xinghuan sect. Bai Lei. Is this the weakling you mentioned? Yi Feng also shouted directly at Bai Lei at this time. The scene just now was too shocking. Master Yi, I don't know. I really didn't know that the way of painting was so awesome. After all, my master is already an ascended master, but now he is still a weakling in battle, and can't compare with that person just now. If I had known that the way of painting was so awesome, even the King of Heaven couldn't stop me from practicing the way of painting. Hearing Yi Feng shout, Bai Lei also explained with a bitter smile. Ding. Remind the host that Bai Lei's own efforts alone cannot reach the peak of the way of painting. It requires the host's strong cultivation to achieve it. At this time, the system's prompt sounded again in Yi Feng's mind. Forget it. Since you don't like practicing the way of painting so much, I won't force you. After all, as long as I help, even a dog will sooner or later have the terrifying painting skills of the grey-robed man. Hearing the system's prompt sound, Yi Feng was also ready to tease Bai Lei, and directly looked at him seriously and said. No, Master Yi. Brother Go is already very tired from practicing swordsmanship, just let him go. Let me take care of this ordeal. Hearing Yi Feng's words, Bai Lei rushed to the ground, hugged Yi Feng's thighs, and begged. Then I'll think about it again. I'm just about to go out, you can go with me. Hearing this, Bai Lei's eyes lit up. He knew it was time for him to show his ability. Whether he could get Yi Feng's support depended on this performance. Following Yi Feng on the way to the sect hall, Bai Lei couldn't help but sigh, thinking in his heart, the world is unpredictable. I didn't expect that one day I would take the initiative to practice painting. In the sect hall. Are you leaving again? Every time you come back and sleep, what do you think of the sect? Do you still take me, your master, seriously? Hearing that Yi Feng was going out for training again, Luo Qianxue couldn't help but scold him loudly. Sect master. Don't scold the senior brother. If you must scold, then scold me. This time I asked the senior brother to accompany me to go out for training. Bai Lei, who was standing aside, suddenly stood up and took the responsibility of going out for training. Although he didn't know what Yi Feng was going to do, as a younger brother, when would he go? This kid is quite capable. Seeing Bai Lei standing up to take the responsibility for himself, Yi Feng nodded with satisfaction. You want to go out? Looking at Bai Lei, and then at Yi Feng who was smiling beside her, Luo Qianxue seemed to have guessed something, and looked at Bai Lei with a playful look and said directly, No, you two can go back. No? Hearing Luo Qianxue's words, Yi Feng and Bai Lei were stunned. This plot was not going in the right direction. Big sister, let me take them out. When the little girl walked out of the sect hall with Yi Feng and Bai Lei, the little girl looked directly at Yi Feng and asked, My lord, I want to give my elder sister a closed-door training. I wonder how many days is appropriate for a stage. Hearing the little girl's words, Yi Feng was stunned at first, and then he understood. He smiled and touched the little girl's head and suggested, Let's take 7 days as a stage first. Let's go down the mountain. When the little girl walked back to the sect hall with a smile, Yi Feng also looked directly at Bai Lei and said, Go down the mountain? Young Master Yi, didn't the sect master ask us not to leave the sect? Hearing Yi Feng's words, Bai Lei also asked with a puzzled look on his face. Where's your cleverness just now? Didn't you hear her just say that the master would go into a 7-day closed-door training? After saying that, Yi Feng walked directly out of the sect, leaving Bai Lei alone in the wind. Chapter 197 Lao Dao, Master Yi wants to see you by name. I'm the only one who cheated Master. You teamed up with others to cheat Master. Master Yi is Master Yi, he's much more playful than me. Bai Lei, who reacted, immediately chased after Yi Feng. Master Yi. Just as Yi Feng and Bai Lei were about to leave the sect, Xia Tianyu's anxious voice suddenly came from behind. Elder Xia? What's wrong? Seeing Xia Tianyu's anxious face, Yi Feng also asked, curiously. Master Yi, I was shot. Xia Tianyu looked around, then lowered his voice, and said to Yi Feng with uneasiness. Hearing Xia Tianyu's words, countless question marks appeared in Yi Feng's head instantly. He shoots me during the day and shoots me when I sleep at night. Especially at night, he shoots very hard. I'm really going crazy now. Puff. Hearing Xia Tianyu's words, Yi Feng admitted that he had thought wrong, but he still couldn't help laughing instantly. Young Master Yi, stop laughing. We don't have archery masters in our sect, but with the one-armed master here, I don't think anyone can get into our sect. Moreover, every time the other party shoots me, he can't hurt me, but his arrows condensed from spiritual power have a special power to obliterate the soul. Every time I get shot, my soul trembles suddenly. I'm almost having a nervous breakdown now. Young Master Yi, I know you have a lot of good things in your hands, so I just want to ask, our sect didn't have archery masters before, but do we have them now? Xia Tianyu asked Yi Feng nervously. He was really afraid that Yi Feng would answer that he didn't have any, then he would really go crazy. Bai Lei, what's your last name? Seeing Xia Tianyu's nervous look, Yi Feng also smiled and looked at Bai Lei beside him and asked a question. Bai Lei was also stunned when he heard Yi Feng's words. Although he was a little confused, he still answered, Young Master Yi, my last name is Bai, the Bai of red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. I have hinted to this extent, it should be enough. Thinking of this, Yi Feng also looked directly at Xia Tianyu. By Tianhen. I will fight you today. Seeing the furious Xia Tianyu took out the heavenly furnace and was about to go to Bai Tianhen to settle the account, Yi Feng also hurriedly reminded, Elder Xia, Elder Bai now not only has a star soul-destroying bow with a powerful weapon spirit, but also has the soul-destroying arrow intent of the arrow heart realm. You are the same strength as him, and now you are definitely not his opponent. What? Hearing Yi Feng's reminder, Xia Tianyu was stunned on the spot. But you can go with Elder Luo Kai. After all, Elder Luo Kai is at the 4th level of the Tribulation Realm, 1 level higher than you. In addition, Elder Bai doesn't dare to really use the star soul-destroying bow to hurt you, so go and get revenge, and remember to hit him in the face. Seeing Xia Tianyu stunned, Yi Feng was just looking for fun and made his own suggestion. Okay, it's time for us to go. Seeing Xia Tianyu leaving with excitement, Yi Feng also took out 2 space portals. You have sat on my 9th grade gourd flying spiritual tool. When I get there, you can just teleport to the gourd flying spiritual tool. After saying that, Yi Feng took the lead in activating the space portal and walked in directly Qiyang Kingdom, Purple Arrow God of War's residence. Purple Arrow God of War, I haven't seen you for 2 days. How are you? After walking out of the space crack, Yi Feng also looked at the nervous Purple Arrow God of War and greeted him. Young Master Yi? Seeing that the person who came was actually Yi Feng, for some reason, Purple Arrow God of War felt a little uneasy. Purple Arrow God of War, actually I came here this time to ask you to do me a favor. Yi Feng also looked at Purple Arrow God of War and told him the purpose of this visit. What? You want to ask Tyrant Sword God of War for help? Young Master Yi, don't worry, I'll go and call Tyrant Sword God of War over for you right now. After saying that, Purple Arrow God of War soared into the sky and flew directly to the residence of Tyrant Sword God of War on the east side. What's the situation? How did Purple Arrow God of War know that I also needed the help of Tyrant Sword God of War? Seeing Purple Arrow God of War leaving, Yi Feng also revealed a touch of surprise. Too scary. Young Master Yi, this crazy prodigal, actually needs my help. How terrifying it must be. He wants to kill me. The purple arrow god of war, who left the mansion, was also full of fear. Fortunately, I was smart and directly blamed the tyrant sword god of war. I was always in the front last time, and it's his turn this time. Thinking of this, the purple arrow god of war couldn't help showing a smug look on his face. The residence of the tyrant sword god of war. Old Arrow? Why are you here instead of staying in the residence? Seeing the purple arrow god of war slowly falling from the sky, the tyrant sword god of war also asked in confusion. Young Master Yi is here, follow me. The purple arrow god of war, who landed steadily on the ground, did not waste any words and looked at the tyrant sword god of war and directly explained his purpose. Huh? Why am I still talking to myself? Old Arrow must be watering the flowers in the courtyard of the residence at this time. How could he come to me? However, after hearing what the purple arrow god of war said, the tyrant sword god of war pretended to be blind and directly treated the purple arrow god of war in front of him as heir. Seeing the tyrant sword god of war's coquettish operation, the purple arrow god of war's mouth twitched. Old knife, it's useless. Master Yi specifically asked to see you. He said that if you don't go, then let the one-armed madman come to invite you. You pretend to be blind, I make up a lie, let's see who can't stand it first. The purple arrow god of war has revealed a winner's smile at this time. He knows how scared the tyrant knife god of war is of that one-armed madman. Master Yi, here I come. Without any reversal, upon hearing about the one-armed madman, the god of war tyrant sword rushed directly to the residence of the god of war purple arrow with a panicked look on his face, fearing that if he was a second late, the one-armed madman would appear in front of him. How terrifying is that one-armed madman? Although he guessed that it would be so, seeing the fearful look in the eyes of the god of war tyrant sword, the god of war purple arrow became more and more curious about the one-armed madman. No matter, Lao Dao has already gone there, and I will just stay here until young Master Yi leaves. Thinking that he had escaped a disaster, the face of the god of war purple arrow once again showed a hint of pride. The residence of the god of war purple arrow. Young Master Yi, are you looking for me? The god of war tyrant sword, who rushed over in a hurry, looked around and found that he did not see the figure of the one-armed madman, so he was completely relieved. Hey! Where is the purple arrow god of war? I said I would ask him for help, and he suddenly came to find you. Although I also need your help, I also need the purple arrow god of war. Seeing that only the tyrant sword god of war came back, Yifeng also asked with a puzzled look on his face. Chapter 198. Hearing that you want to challenge me, the purple arrow god of war was scared and cried, What? Hearing Yifeng's words, the tyrant sword god of war knew that he was tricked by the purple arrow god of war, which made him instantly furious. Wait, just when the tyrant sword god of war was about to tell everything angrily, a gleam of light suddenly flashed in his eyes, and then he suppressed his anger, looked at Yifeng seriously and explained, Young Master Yi, the purple arrow god of war said that if you want to ask him for help, you must let that one-armed madman come and fight him in person. Huh? He also wants to spar with the one-armed madman? Didn't you tell him about the strength of the one-armed madman? Hearing this, Yifeng was also slightly surprised and asked back. He said it. It was because I said that the one-armed madman was powerful that he wanted to challenge him. In fact, the purple arrow god of war has a problem, that is, he likes to challenge the strong. In order to pit the purple arrow god of war back, the tyrant sword god of war made up lies at this moment, and it was as smooth as water, and it sounded like the truth. Like to challenge the strong? It's the purple arrow god of war that deserves his success today. Just for this, I must let the one-armed madman come and compete with him. Yifeng learned that the purple arrow god of war actually had such a special hobby, so he had to satisfy him. Young Master Yi, I'm here. At this moment, as a space crack appeared above the gourd flying spirit tool, Bai Lei also walked out of it excitedly. Activate this space portal, go back. Seeing Bai Lei coming out, Yifeng also threw 2 unactivated space portals and said casually, "Go back? I just came here, and you let me go back now? Are you walking the dog here?" Hearing Yifeng's words, Bai Lei was stunned. "Go back and inform the one-armed madman to come over. Then activate another space portal and come back." Seeing the confused Bai Lei, Yifeng also explained. When Bai Lei began to drip blood to activate the space portal, Yifeng also looked directly at the Tyrant Sword God and asked, "Tyrant Sword God, among the 5 great war gods of your Qiyang kingdom, are there any who practice the stick way?" "Young Master Yi, my master's stick way is awesome." Before the Tyrant Sword God replied, Bai Lei, who was about to step into the space portal, shouted excitedly, "Huh?" Hearing Bai Lei's words, Yifeng couldn't help but frown slightly and said directly, "Your master practices the way of painting, why does he practice the stick?" Damn. When he said this, Yifeng suddenly thought of something, which instantly made his face full of black lines. "That. Mr. Yi, I'm going back to find the one-armed master first." Seeing Yifeng's face suddenly turn ugly, Bai Lei also realized that he might have misunderstood something, and hurriedly ran into the space portal. "Ba Dao War God, it's the same question as before. Among the 5 great war gods of the Qiyang kingdom, are there any who practice the way of the stick?" Seeing Bai Lei leaving, Yifeng also breathed a sigh of relief, and then looked at Ba Dao War God and asked again. "Hey." Hearing this, the god of war Tyrant Sword also sighed, thinking in his heart, "Your Highness, although you let the other 3 war gods escape last time, he will eventually attack them." "Young Master Yi, among our 5 war gods, there is indeed a god of war Thunderstick." The god of war Tyrant Sword smiled bitterly and looked at Yifeng and said, "Really? Then can you trouble the god of war Tyrant Sword to invite the god of war Thunderstick over? I have a little thing that needs your help." Hearing the words of the god of war Tyrant Sword, Yifeng also showed a happy expression, looked at the other party, and said quickly, "No problem. Then please wait here for a moment, young Master Yi, I will go to find the god of war Thunderstick." After saying that, the god of war Tyrant Sword soared into the sky and flew directly to the mansion of the god of war Thunderstick. The mansion of the god of war Thunderstick. What? That crazy prodigal wants to see me, and wants to ask me for a favor? Hearing the words of the Tyrant Blade God, the Thunderstick God was also inexplicably panicked. He had learned a lot of things from the Tyrant Blade God and the Purple Arrow God. To be honest, if possible, he hoped that he would never see Yifeng again in his life. But who would have thought that the nightmare came so suddenly, so caught him off guard? "Old Blade, if I pretend to be sick, can I escape this disaster?" At this time, the Thunderstick God was still thinking about struggling for the last time. "Old Stick, if you pretend to be sick, then he may let someone come to invite you." Hearing the words of the Thunderstick God, the Tyrant Blade God also expressed his guess. "Who will he let come to invite me?" "Don't ask, that person will go to ask Lao Jian soon, you will know if you go and see." After saying that, the god of war Tyrant Sword and the god of war Thunderstick rushed to his mansion. The god of war Tyrant Sword's mansion. "You want to challenge me?" With the appearance of a space crack, the excited voice of the one-armed madman came out first. "Who is coming? When did I want to challenge others?" Listening to the voice, why does it feel that the other party is very excited? Stunned. The Purple Arrow God of War, who was lying on the rocking chair, was completely stunned at this moment, and he couldn't understand what was going on. "It's him." When the Purple Arrow God of War saw the one-armed man walking out with a blood-red rapier, he jumped up from the rocking chair in shock, and because of fear, all the hairs on his body stood up. Although he had never seen the one-armed madman, the Purple Arrow God of War dared to guarantee that the one-armed man in front of him was the one-armed madman mentioned by the God of War Tyrant Sword. "Sir, is there any misunderstanding here? I never said I wanted to challenge you." Seeing the increasingly excited one-armed madman in front of him, the purple arrow god of war was really panicked, and he looked at the other party and quickly explained. Misunderstanding? I don't care if it's a misunderstanding or not. My lord asked me to have a fight with you, so I must have a fight with you. Go ahead. The one-armed madman raised the blood-red rapier in his hand and pointed it at the purple arrow god of war opposite him and said excitedly. 30 seconds. After only watching for 30 seconds, the thunderstick god of war in the dark was almost scared to death. Looking at the one-armed madman who scratched bloody marks on the purple arrow god of war, the thunderstick god of war looked at the tyrant sword god of war beside him and said quickly, Quick, take me to see Master Yi immediately. The purple arrow god of war's residence. Master Yi, I brought the thunderstick god of war to you. But the purple arrow god of war may have to discuss with that adult for a while. If you need any help from us, just tell us directly, we will never refuse. The tyrant sword god of war first introduced the thunderstick god of war beside him, and then asked with a hint of uneasiness. This is a painter from my sect. He wants to create 3 paintings, so he wants you to release the artistic conception of your own practice for him to observe and depict. Don't worry, I will never let you help in vain. Yi Feng looked at the two and smiled and said the real purpose of this trip. Chapter 199 As long as we are strong enough, Master Yi will not be able to torture us. Master Yi, it is our honor that you can ask us for help. It doesn't matter whether it is hard or not. This is what we should do. Hearing Yi Feng's words, the god of war of Tyrant Sword also hurriedly declined. How dare they accept Yi Feng's benefits? No? Hearing the words of the god of war of Tyrant Sword, Yi Feng smiled. Isn't this the opportunity to lose the family? As a rich man who spends money, how can he ask for help without giving benefits? But if the other party dares not to, he has to force the other party to accept it by spending money. There is nothing that can't be solved by spending money. If there is, it means that you haven't lost enough. Ding. Issue the task. The system provides 10,000 paintings containing the fields of sword, stick, and arrow. Please use these paintings in a spendthrift way to make the god of war Tyrant Sword, God of War Thunder Stick, and God of War Purple Arrow accept the reward you offer. If the task is successful, you will be rewarded with 30 million spendthrift points. If the task fails, there is no penalty and you can refuse. Hearing the system prompt sound suddenly ringing in his mind, Yi Feng was stunned at first, and then a smile appeared on his face. Just now, he was about to use the spendthrift to open some painting jars, wanting to use this kind of painting to spendthrift, who would have thought that the system directly issued such a task, and also gave 30,000 paintings. Old knife, has young Master Yi always smiled like this? Why do I feel a little uneasy when I see the smile on his face? The god of war Thunder Stick looked at the god of war Tyrant Sword with a little uneasiness and asked in a low voice. I am also a little uneasy. But don't worry too much. Young Master Yi can only torture us mentally and spiritually. As long as we are strong enough, he can't torture us. Tyrant Blade War God pretended to be calm and looked at Thunderstick War God and said. You too, I wonder what level your sword and stick will have been cultivated to. Just when Tyrant Blade War God and Thunderstick War God were a little uneasy, Yi Feng's questioning voice also rang out. Young Master Yi, my dominant sword intention has already comprehended the limit of the sword heart realm, and I only need an opportunity to break through to the sword realm. I plan to try my luck in the heavenly Dao battlefield in a while. As for the red thunder stick intention of the thunder stick god of war, it has also comprehended the limit of the stick heart realm, and it also needs an opportunity to break through to the stick realm. There are 3 levels of any artistic conception in Xinjiang continent. For example, taking sword cultivation as an example, sword intention, sword heart realm, and sword realm. Hearing Yi Feng's question, the dominant sword god of war also immediately explained the situation of the two. Then, if there are paintings containing the sword realm and the stick realm, can you break through your dominant sword intention and red thunder stick intention by observing the paintings? Yi Feng looked at the dominant sword god of war and asked again. Yes. If there is really a painting containing the sword realm, and it is the sword realm of the dominant sword intention, I am absolutely confident that I can break through within a month. Hearing Yi Feng's words, the dominant sword god of war also showed a confident look and answered. Accept the task. Ding. The host accepts the task. According to the target situation, 10,000 paintings containing the domain of swords are determined as the dominant sword intention, 10,000 paintings containing the domain of sticks are determined as the red thunder stick intention, and 10,000 paintings containing the domain of arrows are tentative. As Yi Feng confirmed to accept the task, the system's prompt sound rang again. Dominant sword god, take the painting. Hearing Yi Feng's words, before the dominant sword god could react, Yi Feng had already thrown a painting without a frame protection. Swish! After catching the painting, the dominant sword god also unfolded the painting directly, and what followed was a terrifying sword intention that dominated the world. Dominant sword intention. The domain of sword. Excited, at this time, the overlord sword god of war was so excited that even his hands holding the painting began to tremble uncontrollably. Young Master Yi, is this painting for me? After the excitement, the overlord sword god of war also looked at Yi Feng with a hint of excitement and asked. What is it for you? How could it be for you? It's getting close to evening now, and the weather is a little cool. This thing is used to make a fire for warmth. Yi Feng took the painting back from the sluggish overlord sword god of war, and then converted the spiritual power in his body into fire spiritual power, and directly ignited the painting. This painting cannot be protected without a special frame. It can be torn and lit at any time, just like ordinary paper. Looking at the burning painting, Yi Feng also thought secretly in his heart. Crazy! Seeing Yi Feng casually throw the ignited painting to the ground, the overlord sword god of war was going crazy. That was a painting containing the realm of swords. 1 month. As long as you lend it to me for a month, I can definitely break through to the realm of swords. Is that a painting? No. It's not. For me, it's my lifeblood. Seeing the collapsed tyrant sword god of war, the thunderstick god of war on the side hurriedly stepped forward to comfort him. Old sword, we must be strong. As long as we are strong enough, young master, ye can't torture us. Being strong is bullshit. You are talking without any pain. If it is a painting of the stick field containing the red thunder stick, can you hold on? Hearing the words of the thunderstick god of war, the tyrant sword god of war also asked back with contempt. Ha ha ha. When the thunderstick god of war heard this, he couldn't help laughing and said proudly, of course I can hold on. I have no other advantages, but I have a good attitude. Thunderstick god of war, take the painting. Tear up the painting and throw it over quickly, the fire is about to go out. Just then, Yi Feng's voice suddenly sounded from the side. Boom. When the thunderstick god of war unfolded the painting and felt the power of the stick field of the red thunder stick in the painting, his mind exploded and the whole person was stunned on the spot. Tear. Just when the thunderstick god of war was stunned, the tyrant sword god of war next to him suddenly snatched the painting and tore it in half, and then quickly threw it on the previous painting that was about to burn. Fuck. Old knife, you bastard, you dare to tear my painting, I will fight you today. The thunderstick god of war reacted and took out his red thunder star stick from the space ring, ready to fight with the tyrant knife god of war. What do you mean your painting? That's Master Yi's painting. Master Yi just asked you to tear it up for the fire, and you really think it's yours after touching it? Seeing the furious thunderstick god of war, the tyrant knife god of war directly reminded him with a playful look. Master Knife God of War, is the Thunderstick God of War okay? Seeing the Thunderstick god of war quietly walk to the side and squat on the ground with a nearly 2-meter-long stick to draw circles, Yifeng also asked with a wry smile, and thought to himself, just now he said that he had a good mentality, but this is the result? Young Master Yi, he's fine, I'll go see him. As he said that, the Tyrant Sword god of war walked directly towards the Thunderstick god of war. Chapter 200. Are you sure you want to take my bribe? Old Lei, you can't stand it now? Didn't you just brag about your good mentality? Coming to the Thunderstick god of war, the Tyrant Sword god of war also said jokingly. Humph. I can't stand it? Don't say that I burn one painting. Even if I burn 100 or 1,000 paintings, I will smile slightly, and I will never cry. Hearing the words of the Tyrant Sword god of war, the Thunderstick god of war also stood up directly to express his attitude, and the many small circles just drawn in front of him were also wiped off inadvertently with his feet. Okay, as long as you're okay. I've told you long ago that Master Yi is simply mad when he loses his family. You've seen it this time. Let's go back quickly. We can't leave Master Yi hanging there. As he said that, the god of war Tyrant Sword patted the god of war Thunderstick on the shoulder and turned around with a smile, ready to walk towards Yifeng, who was not far away. Old Sword, why don't you leave? Seeing the god of war Tyrant Sword turn around and stop, the god of war Thunderstick also turned around with a puzzled look and looked in the direction of Yifeng. Gulp, seeing that Yifeng's left and right sides were full of paintings, the Thunderstick war god couldn't help swallowing his saliva, and then he looked at the Tyrant Sword war god with a trembling voice and asked, Old Sword, do you think those paintings are all paintings containing the realm of sword and the realm of stick? Let's go, we'll know. Although there was no answer, the Tyrant Sword war god felt that the paintings piled up like a small mountain were probably paintings containing the realm of sword or the realm of stick. You are finally back. Tyrant Sword war god, you sit on the left. Those paintings contain the power of the realm of sword of Tyrant Sword. You unfold them one by one and tear them in half. We can't let the fire go out again this time. Thunderstick war god, you sit on the right. I don't need to say more about the situation of those paintings. After seeing the two war gods return, Yifeng also directly assigned tasks to the two. And Yifeng's series of operations directly confused Bai Lei, who had not said a word for a long time. He really wanted to ask Yifeng now, are we sure we are here to ask for help, not to cause trouble? Young Master Yi, are you kidding me? All the thousands of paintings in front of me contain the power of the sword domain of the Overlord Sword Intention? Hearing Yifeng's words, the Overlord Sword God was really confused. How could there be so many paintings containing the same sword domain? And it's hard to get a painting. It's okay for you to sell it wholesale here, but you actually want to use all of them for burning? Overlord Sword God, I don't have any advantages. The only advantage is that I don't brag. You'll know when you unfold them one by one. Yifeng looked at the Tyrant Sword God and smiled and replied. A few minutes later. Old Lei, we agreed not to cry. We must be strong. Seeing the Thunderstick God tearing up the paintings with tears in his eyes, the Tyrant Sword God sitting opposite him also hurriedly comforted him. I said I wouldn't cry for 100 or 1,000 paintings, but I've almost torn up 10,000 paintings, and each painting contains the same stick realm. Every time I tear one, my heart hurts. I've been stuck in the extreme state of the stick heart for almost 100 years. Now I finally see hope, but I have to keep burning hope. It's not so torturous. After hearing the words of the Tyrant Sword God, the Thunderstick God also began to vent his emotions. It's like a dying person throwing one life-extending pill after another into a grinder, which can be called a murder. Old Knife, why do you think young Master Yi tortured us like this? We didn't seem to make him angry. After venting, Thunderstick War God's mentality calmed down a little, and then he looked at Tyrant Knife War God and asked. I have been thinking about this question too. These paintings seem to be taken out specifically to torture the two of us. Otherwise, if it was the sword domain of other sword intents, I would definitely not feel sorry for burning it. And young Master Yi came here to ask for our help this time. We even refused the bribe. He shouldn't torture us like this. At this point, the god of war tyrant sword seemed to suddenly think of something and turned his head to look at Yi Feng, who was lying on the rocking chair not far away. Benefits? Because we refused the bribe? Hearing the speculation of the god of war tyrant sword, the god of war thunder stick couldn't believe his ears. I neglected it. Young Master Yi is a prodigal son. If we don't accept the bribe when people ask us for help, wouldn't that be a slap in young Master Yi's face? Hearing this, the god of war thunderstick said with a dull face, in other words, we are probably burning the bribe that should have been ours? After a moment. Old sword. You bastard are cheating me. As the purple arrow god of war's angry voice came, everyone looked up into the sky. I'll shoot you to death. When the purple arrow god of war came to the sky above the courtyard, he directly took out the purple extreme black bow from the space ring. Purple arrow god of war, come down quickly, I need your help with something. Okay, Master Yi, I'll be right over. Hearing Yi Feng's words, the purple arrow god of war instantly put away the purple extreme black bow and fell directly to the position where Yi Feng was below. Master Yi, what do you want? Coming in front of Yi Feng, the purple arrow god of war also hurriedly asked. He was really scared. He didn't expect that the one-armed madman was so terrifying, and his methods were extremely cruel. I want to ask you to do me a small favor, but don't worry, you will get the reward. Now there are only 10,000 paintings left from the purple arrow god of war, so Yi Feng simply goes straight to the point and doesn't talk nonsense. Okay. Young Master Yi, just tell me what you want, and you can get the reward at will. However, when Yi Feng heard what the purple arrow god of war said, he was stunned, and the whole person was stunned. Shouldn't you refuse the reward? You directly agreed to take the reward, so how can I let you waste those 10,000 paintings? When the tyrant sword god of war and the thunder stick god of war heard what the purple arrow god of war said, they showed extremely envious looks in their eyes. They envied the purple arrow god of war for making the right choice, so that they didn't have to suffer. Are you sure you want to take my reward? Yi Feng stared at the purple arrow god of war and asked again with displeasure. Seeing Yi Feng's increasingly ugly face, the purple arrow god of war panicked and quickly explained, Young Master Yi, how can I accept your bribe? Just tell me what you want, I won't accept bribes. No? I'm a rich man who is a spendthrift and I'm asking for help. Do you think I can't afford a bribe? Do you look down on me? Fuck. After hearing what Yi Feng said, the purple arrow god of war's mentality collapsed. Should I accept it or not? Looking at the purple arrow god of war who was alone there burning a fire with a painting, the tyrant sword god of war and the thunder stick god of war looked at each other and smiled bitterly. They realized that whether he accepted it or not, Yi Feng was determined to torture them.